Hey everybody, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. Thanks for joining me for another exciting episode. I'll dare say so myself that every episode is exciting and the best ever, Erika. Thank you for being with us today on the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. And today I get to talk to Erika, who's with Verizon Business. And we're going to talk about all things tech, AI, security, and possibly more, and see where we go with that. But Erika, I should have asked how to pronounce your last name. I'm going to guess that it's Angel.
You're correct. You got that right. It took me
Yeah,
32 years to become an angel, but I am an angel now.
I
So there you
love it.
go.
Ericka Angell, so I can hear it, and just tell us who you are, your full title, and just repeat again where you work. And feel free to dive into a little bit about what you do, and then we'll get to the interview.
Yeah, that's great. So again, Ericka Angell, it's really nice to be on. So thank you so much for inviting me. I'm Vice President of Small Business Sales for Verizon Business, and I lead a team of technology experts that really help small and medium enterprises on their technology journey, from how they use technology today to, more importantly, how do they plan to use technology in the future to better serve their business operations and ultimately create a better experience for their customers. So been doing this particular role now for almost a year. But before that, I've been with Verizon and Verizon Business for over 20 years in all parts of the business, from the retail side to our national and indirect distribution, and now on the business side, serving small businesses. So
I
excited to
love
be
it.
here.
I'm gonna call you Verizon OG.
There you go. I feel like that some days,
Yes.
but
Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Erika, for spending time with us today. When you talk about technology and Verizon, I know the answer to this, I think, already, having been around Verizon for a while, especially in the SMB space. But some people may think that it's about, oh, my Android or my iPhone, my device that I have in there, my cell phone, my tablet. But I think, Erika, it's gazillions, a lot more than just the device we think. Just for those who know about your job, your team, and Verizon, can you just briefly kind of reintroduce us for those who may not know to Verizon? That I think it's more than just, hey, the device in your hand, but you all do quite a bit. Can you just unpack at a high level who Verizon is and some of those business solutions that you and your team help with so we understand that?
absolutely. It's so funny because when most people think about Verizon or even Verizon Business, they think about mobile. And
That's
of
right.
course, we serve mobile needs. It's a
Mm-hmm.
really important, especially for small business customers. A lot of them are on the go. They wear
Mm-hmm.
many hats, right, as the owner of a business. But we have such a robust portfolio of solutions that we can offer customers. From a emerging technology perspective, it's really important. Customers are investing a lot into their internet
Mm-hmm.
capabilities. They need fast, reliable speeds. They need products that are kind of plug and play, right? For that ever-changing environment. They're doing some sort of a pop-up event. So, of course, we handle the mobile solutions. We handle business internet solutions with robust, reliable, plug and play type solutions there. JD Power ranks us number one, in fact, in business internet satisfaction. So very reliable from third-party source as well. We offer solutions for that small business that actually has a retail space. When you think
Mm-hmm.
about their business phones, where their main phone number dials, we have a solution called One Talk, which is like a voice over internet type solution that helps a small business potentially scale, right? It helps them be able to navigate to different departments, to be able to quickly transfer to maybe a mobile team. So not only can they have that for their retail footprint, but they can have it for their field organization. So that's a really important solution that we offer. Of course, when you think about things beyond the phone, you think about things beyond a fixed wireless internet, like
Mm-hmm.
a mobile hotspot. A lot of our customers travel to and from events, and so they need a reliable solution there. We have a robust portfolio of solutions that we offer for that. We also have cloud solutions,
Mm-hmm.
be able to enable our businesses to access data and store data from anywhere, making sure that they can have seamless operations and be able to collaborate within their business. And then I would say a really important one that a lot of customers might not know that we work with small businesses and large and is in that cybersecurity solution space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important nowadays, especially that business owners, whether you work in a very small space or in a large space, that you are paying attention to what's happening. And we have an inherently secure network that we built at Verizon, but what we also offer are those endpoint management solutions that allow for, let's say, your employees who might accidentally click that phishing email to prevent that from happening. So it's like an inside out and an outside in approach to making sure that we can provide the right cybersecurity solutions. Now, those are just a few of
Sure.
what we offer. There's so much more from a robust portfolio of solutions, but what I would say is anything that you're looking at doing from a technology perspective, both to improve operations today, or as you're thinking about, hey, what's the future look like? We're definitely the experts to really talk to.
I love that. Talking about emails that come in. This is years ago when I used to work at the United Nations. My mentor, he's since passed away. His name was Mr. Chidambaranathan. He would call me and say, Ramon, I got an email about a mortgage. Should I click that? I'm like, Mr. Nathan, you don't have a mortgage. It's nothing to do with you. Why are you clicking? Or he'd say, Ramon, DHL, a great company, but DHL emailed me. And I'd be like, Mr. Nathan, stop. But to your point, don't want to go there too deep, but just to affirm what you said, it happens. I'm on the receiving end. I get texts all the time. Is that you? And I'm like, maybe it's my buddy. Maybe I should click a reply, but no, no, no. So you're right about security. If anything you want to add there.
Yeah, I would say from a security solutions, I mean, with increasing digitization, investing in strong cybersecurity measures is really important. And of course, a lot of small business owners think, oh, it's just so costly and it's never going to happen to me, or I can put the right solutions in place. And you can do a lot of things for your business, right? We see it even on our consumer side, to your point, our banking information, the things I do on my phone. Two-factor authentication, right? Making sure you have a strong password. We also offer kind of risk assessments. So we can go in and, you kind of get some of the phishing tests that are out there to say what percentage of your employees are going to actually click that. So you can do proper training. But we also offer remediation services. So what I would say is whether you're a small enterprise or a large enterprise, it's important to know where your risks are at and assess them. And it's important to make sure that you have an acceptable use policy if you're giving or allowing your employees onto your internet, or you're giving them devices to use. Have a strong endpoint management policy, and then make sure you have some sort of a cybersecurity solution to enforce that policy. We all want to trust our employees, but we also want to make sure we're providing the right tools to allow them to do that.
I love that. So the Verizon, it's not like going to the training, like when you show 20% of our employees click more in there, Verizon doesn't have a secret men in black team that come and whisks them away. You just train them and help them do better. You don't like have a secret team of black bands that come around and pull them out of the office. That won't happen.
Well, we won't pull them out of the office, but we definitely have teams that can assess and provide the right solutions so that whatever that use policy is for your business operations, we can ensure it's being upheld. But no clicking and memory wiping that happens there.
I love it, Erika. I don't want to get political, Erika, but I'm going to get political. I'm going to ask a very political question. I was on a debate today earlier with some small business owners. Some of us said that small business owners, the average, are not using, don't want to go here, AI. The other half of us were saying that the average, not those in the bubble like you and I, that the average small business is going to use it in conjunction more so with the brands we know. I work, Intuit and QuickBooks and Salesforce and Verizon. So I'm just curious, what do you see? What are you seeing? The average, not those high tech in the bubble, but we know AI is in the headline. Are the typical Verizon customer going into ChatGPT, OpenAI, Claude, and all these tools? Or is it, yes, with the services of using it through tools like yours? Or is it 50-50? I just want to do it because I have a bet with a friend and I want to know who is right. And you're going to solve the bet, Erika. I'm having fun, of course, but talking about AI.
I like a good bet. But here's what I would tell you about AI adoption in general. So we are oftentimes going out and doing small business surveys. And again, it's not just with those early adopters, but really with the large base of customers and potential customers that are out there. In our latest small business survey, what we found is that small businesses in particular are leveraging AI. It's more than doubled since 2023, with 39% of those that we surveyed using AI. And they're generally using it to automate tasks, to improve their operations, kind of give back time so that their team could go and focus on other aspects or elements of the business to improve their operations. So there's a experience, like a customer experience tool use that they're really starting to dive into. And what I would tell you, one of the solutions that we recently brought to market is called Verizon Business Assistant. And it was really geared towards, it's an industry first generative AI kind of powered messaging solution that's designed to help those small businesses with their operations. It has intelligence that allows that company to put maybe commonly asked questions out there to help them serve customers so they can outreach and leverage this AI tool. Again, freeing up their time to go and work on other parts of the business. So pretty cool new functionality that we have out there with Verizon Business Assistant. But to completely answer your question, it's not only doubled since 2023, but it's only going to continue to increase, especially as you see more and more companies kind of looking at how they're leveraging AI. Personally, Verizon's been leveraging AI for some time to improve our efficiencies, both in our call centers. We do things on the network side as well.
I love that. And I think, so I don't think you solved my bet with my friend, but I think it's kind of 50-50. It sounds like, I'm sure there's those of us and, in the bubble techies, we're going directly to the apps and playing with them, meaning the AI, the names we all know and see in the news. But I would think that many of the business leaders are going to be using tools, like you said, and relying on the vendors they trust. Hey, we have a problem. Just repeating what I'm hearing, and you're going to be embedding and leveraging AI into the tools and making a solution for them versus them hand coding, programming it in, some new startup AI tool. That's kind of what we talked about today. But I think it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Me, I'm going to go there directly and upload PDFs. But I think for a 50-person company, 10-person company, there's safety in working with a partner who provides it inside the solution.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that people will start to do more, and we're starting to see it as there's more awareness out there, they're going to invest more in education.
Yes.
So you'll see more and more small business owners, just as we are, that will have an opinion about how they may want to use AI or the things that they're looking at exploring in terms of how they would integrate it into their operations. So I think as we continue to see how it's being used by trusted businesses, we'll start to see more and more use case applications that come to market. But for many of small businesses, it's going to be a way for them in the future to improve operations so that they can focus on creating a better experience for their customers, whatever their niche really is.
No, for sure. I love that. It's about the better, even for me, whether it's a smaller business or bigger, I love that aspect, the better experience, which at the end of the day, Maya Angelou writes, how you make your customers feel. Sure, it's what you do and the pricing and all that, but how you make them feel, which I think technology can help. Curious, Erika, and I don't have a direct answer for this. I'm a technologist. I'm a small business marketer, small business expert. I reach, thousands of small businesses a day, but there's a lot of uncertainty. Politics aside, this is what we signed up for. One person told me is being an entrepreneur. You can't predict the future, up and down and stocks and up and down. So my question really is, what are your teams? How are you helping business owners kind of navigate? You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know, should we get more of this? Should we not get more of this? Should we invest here? Should we not invest here? So just kind of what are you hearing as it makes sense from the millions and zillions of customers you work with? We're a manufacturing plant. We want to grow, but we don't know what we should invest in, or we're a SaaS company. So if you understand, it's more of not a question per se, but discussion point, just thinking of the future, innovation, uncertainty. Any thoughts on that? I know it was a big chunk I threw at you, but thoughts on that, please.
Yeah, I think customers wear a lot, like the businesses in particular on the small business side that I work with and my team work with most frequently, they wear all of the hats, right? They are responsible for all the decisions, are responsible for the finance, are responsible for the operations side, they're responsible for the IT side. So they have all of these decision points to make. And to your point, they're looking at, where do I invest in the future to help my operations, and maybe where do I not?
Right.
And what we tend to see is they are investing more on the technology front. I think what we're seeing is they're trying to identify ways to engage their customers, find new customers, right? Especially you think about in New York City, in a very complex competitive market, for example, you have to kind of be a business that stands out.
That's right.
So we're seeing a lot more of customers leveraging social utilizing things like Facebook Marketplace and ways to go out and engage when they're not physically there. We're also seeing customers look at ways where if they have a brick and mortar location, how do I expand beyond my brick and mortar? And for a lot of small business owners or entrepreneurs, sometimes they lack the knowledge or the skills or the expertise in any one of those categories to say, how do I really go make an impact? One of the things at Verizon that we invested in was a completely free platform. We call it Small Business Digital Ready. This platform is free, not just for customers, but for any entrepreneur to kind of go out there and learn more about any particular topic. If they're not good at writing a business plan and they want to try to find funding, there's tools for them there. They can go and build networking connections with other small business owners and entrepreneurs, all completely free. I've had a customer that we worked with in particular who was trying to figure out, how do I build a social presence? I'm trying to get more customers. It's a very competitive market. And so with short micro learnings, these 15-minute or less learnings, they were able to stand up a social presence and more than double their revenue. So I hope that kind of answers your questions in terms of like, you've got business owners who have all of these things they're responsible for. Sometimes they just don't know where to go for help. We're not only here on the technology side, from I can help you with experts on your operations, but I can also give you the tools that and the education that will help you navigate your business today and maybe improve it in the future as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. That did answer it. In fact, I was right upstairs. I was talking to my niece, and she mentioned it to me. Uncle Ramon, I'm on Verizon Digital Ready. I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm like, yeah, I know about it already.
Oh, that's excellent. It's
I've heard many good things
platform
about it across the country, for sure. And thank you all, your teams, for doing that. One final thing, Erika, but feel free, if I didn't ask you anything, I always want to leave time, but I want to give you some of your day back. So you have me, I can have you again. But any trends you're seeing, and again, I don't know if there's a right answer, and you're going to say it from the Verizon perspective, but you all are the technologists, for the world. So what are you seeing? Like, is there any top thing you're saying, Ramon, man, and I don't know if you need to whisper because I don't know if it's a secret, but like, Ramon, here are some of the top things we're seeing that, and there's no average, but the average small business is maybe looking at, of all the things we could do. And there's cloud, there's security, there's AI, there's hardware, there's all kind of things. Maybe it's education, but anything you're seeing, here's a few things that maybe we're seeing our customers do more of than other. And if that makes sense, the question, please.
Yeah. So obviously, being on the Verizon Business side, small businesses in particular are investing more in tech than ever, even in a time where, there's people that are anxious, right? I think we're all kind of anxious in terms of the economic and political landscape that we're in. But what I would tell you is SMBs in particular remain optimistic, and they are investing in tech. We're seeing a bigger piece of their business online. We kind of talked about that earlier with how they're leveraging social. There was a 38% online digital kind of operation rate increase that we saw in our small business survey, and they're investing more in particular internet upgrades. No surprise, as the demand for online digital operations, kind of that mobile point of sale, there's a need for increased bandwidth. So we're seeing small businesses invest specifically in internet upgrades. We saw that over the next 3 years, we're going to see likely the number of small businesses investing specifically in that reach 66%. So it continues to grow year over year. 67% of those that we surveyed had upgraded to a kind of higher speed internet plan. So speed, reliability, they're investing in not just fixed wireless solutions, but again, how do I also have a solution that's mobile, something that's a plug and play versus something that specifically needs to be hardwired in and is stationary. So super important, the mobile investments that they're making. And I know I mentioned this a little bit, but as we see small businesses really embracing technology, they are looking at ways to stay more agile. They're looking at tools, applications that can improve their operations, whether they're going from, believe it or not, customers still using paper forms to digital forms and solutions. Those are things that we can help them navigate, right? Depending on how they're leveraging that for their business. And then the last thing I would say is we're seeing an investment in asset management. I'll give you an example. A part of our business works with customers that have fleet. And in the fleet world, it's important now more than ever that we're looking at driver safety habits, drivers around you and their safety habits. So we have a lot of customers that are investing in asset management and how they're managing their fleet with our solutions as well.
I love it. I love it. No, this is powerful. And I think you're right. It's an interesting world we're in. And we're always in an interesting world. Depends on the season, depends on all kind of things happening. But I think that the consistency of the entrepreneurship, Angeline Duckworth's book called Grit, as one who started 5 companies, sold a few companies, and et cetera. Anything, Erika, I didn't ask you, anything you wanted to touch on? This has been a great discussion, but I know hopefully you'll come back again. But anything that you didn't mention that you wanted to touch on that I didn't ask?
Yeah, look, I think from a solutions perspective, we hit a lot of really good information today. I would just call out what's really important to us, and my team in particular, is I lead a team across the eastern half of the United States. I have a peer that has the western half of the United States, but our field teams are in the community. We're working side by side closely in the places where, we live and are really integrated in our day-to-day. And we're so committed to making sure that we understand what's happening in that community, that we're providing the right guidance and expertise, but that being out in the field across where we live and work and having a field team that's there, our doors are really always open. Whether that's our corporate doors where a business customer could go in to get support, but also our digital doors and my team here to just support and guide and really help that technology discussion with small businesses who quite frankly, maybe view it as a little bit stressful when you have to make a decision, a little bit of that unknown. We're here to kind of take some of that stress and that burden away. So I appreciate the time. So nice to get a chance to see you and to join the conversation today.
No, I appreciate that. Everybody, again, my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. This has been Ericka Angell with Verizon Business. Ericka Angell with Verizon Business. And you can find content like this all the time at zoneofgenius.com. Thank you, Erika, so much.